Good morning, YouTube. As always, hopefully you're all good and doing well. And as always, cheers, cheeky little white monster. And welcome to episode 6 of the cut. I'm now 7 weeks into cutting, and it is, Monday the 23rd of February. And this could potentially be my last Monday as a fully self-employed boy. I'm currently in the process of getting a 9-to-5 job, which I'm going to make a video about in future, sort of explaining why and everything like that. And the reason that this could potentially be is because I'm meant to be starting next Monday. However, I haven't got the email or anything like that to confirm that that's definitely the case. And there's a few things of paperwork that haven't been done, so not 100% sure. But anyway, as I say, I'll be covering that in like a different video. Today, I'm going to take you through my day on a cut. This morning I woke up and I was 75 kilos, pretty much exactly. I was 75.25 when I stepped on one time, and then 75 on the dot pretty much another time. So I'm around about there, which is pretty decent considering that it's been off the back of the weekend. I'm now 5 kilos down from where I was at the start. So I'm going to show you how I'm looking. I'm going to take you through my push session, and then also take you through the rest of my day as well. Let's go for it. So the session is all done, and as explained, I woke up this morning and I was 75.5 kilos. I just did like a little bit of posing, but whether or not I'll make it into the video is if I basically like how it looks or not. As mentioned, I woke up this morning at 75 kilos, pretty much dead on. So I'm 5 kilos down from where I very first started. I will try and get a video after this of like a like for like sort of side by side from the start to now. But as mentioned, like I can see if I stand forward a little bit so the lighting's a little bit better, I can still see that like my abs are coming through more. I can certainly see that this vein's coming through more, looking much more shapely and much better, and just overall like much happier with how I'm looking. I can see like my lower back is still a little bit sort of chubbier than what I'd obviously want it to be. Still got weight to lose, but certainly going in the right direction. But with being relatively happy like with how things are progressing and how I'm looking, one thing that I've noticed is over the last couple of weekends I've been a little bit more complacent. I also have had plans which I didn't necessarily have at the start. So I think a couple of weekends ago was Valentine's Day, and then this last weekend Erin and I, on Saturday we had something to celebrate. So I will show you this burrito that I had on Saturday night. I did save calories for it and everything like that, but this burrito was literally bigger than my noggin. I also managed to finish it off in one day. It was literally full of like beef mince, steak and chicken. So even though I did definitely overeat, I overate on protein. So I don't even know like if I would have been gaining that much sort of like fat or anything like that. I think it was just probably quite well utilized. But because it was such a like protein heavy meal and such a salty meal, it took fucking forever to digest. Like I had to sleep upright for like 5 hours because I was like so full afterwards, and it ruined my sleep. And then I woke up the next morning, and because I'd had so much salt and was so sort of dehydrated, for the first like half of Sunday morning, well for all of Sunday morning, I literally felt like I was hungover. I felt terrible. I had to train legs and I just felt horrendous. But because of, as I say, because of being happy with like how I'm looking at the moment, I have been a little bit complacent on those weekends, which at the start I wasn't. And even though I'm still maintaining like a good rate of loss and looking better and everything like that, I need to just sort of like rein it in a little bit and get back on it, like especially on the weekends. Just be much less chilled out and just try and get it done as soon as possible. it's not been a case that I've like written off all the hard work that I've done throughout the week. I was anticipating being towards sort of the lower end of the 70s by the end of February. It's pretty much the end of February. I don't know, over the course of this last month, I've lost like sort of like 1 or 2 kilos. But I've got my steps to do and Duolingo to do, so I'm gonna do that and then I will catch you afterwards. So I am back home and I am about to enter something that cool kids call a deep work block. Basically, I have got rid of all my distractions and everything like that, and I am about to be doing my client check-ins. So that I can focus and not be disturbed, I've got, what, 2.5 litres of water with me. I've just gone and eaten my meal after working out, which was, as usual, 250 grams of chicken mince, bag of rice, some broccoli, also some peri sauce as well. Literally a banging meal, one of my favourite meals, and it's absolutely massive, so there's a lot of volume within it. So it will help me to just be sat here without feeling too hungry. I was tempted to just have cream of rice instead. I was there and I was like, if I have that, I'm probably going to feel hungry again quite quickly. And I was watching The Rest is Football, listening to Big Meeks and Gary Lineker talk about the Arsenal game, because we won 4-1 yesterday against Spurs. Loving life. I've also got a Spurs fan as one of my clients, so I was very tempted to wear an Arsenal top and taunt them a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I won't ruin their day. They probably had enough of that yesterday anyway. Although if it was the other way around, they'd be taunting me, so maybe I will do it. We'll see. Good evening. It is now 7 PM and I sat down here at like 12:30, 1ish to start doing my check-ins, and they're now all done, and I thought I would show you through my Google Sheet and also talk you through the check-in process at the same time as well. This is what my Google Sheets look like this is actually my one. It's exactly the same as I use for my clients as well. The only thing with like sheets, the whole reason that I use them is because I can just change everything as I need to. So this is like what my nutrition looks like and what I'm focusing on, and my daily activity and everything. But like for like my female clients, I have a look at sort of like, they'll have a section for keeping track of like their cycle and all that sort of stuff, so that we can make sure that we're sort of like navigating around that. As you can see, all my nutrition is within here. My step count is all here and everything like that. If I've trained and everything like that is all there as well. The reason I'm showing you this is because I wanted to show you what I've been up to for the last couple of weeks. And also this way I don't have to sort of go through and blur anything out like I would have to if it was a client. One thing, if you're a client of mine, what you'll notice is I've got 9K as my step targets here, and you'll notice I have hit that every single day. There's not been a day that I've gone below that. Even over the course of the weekend, I actually went like well above it, which is just as good, because on the Saturday was the day that I had that burrito. It's the first day that I've been sort of like more chilled out of my diet and actually had like a diet break over the course of the sort of 6 to 7 weeks that I have been cutting. This here was today's session, what I did and everything like that I videoed earlier on. My new step target is 10,000 now. It was 9,000, because I've been smashing that. I've now hit 10,000 officially, so I've had to come out and get 4,000 steps in. I did some around Asda, saw some of the new F1 Lego cars, was very tempted to get them. I like the Red Bull this year, that's my favourite looking F1 car. But I had some cream of rice about an hour before finishing my check-ins, and as I was explaining, like with my check-ins, I always like my clients to send me voice notes or like videos talking me through their week, and then I respond via video, just because it builds so much more of like a relationship as opposed to like a form, and I get all the data within the sheets that I need, so it just helps me to be much more like personable and understanding, which is always all good. I have now got one meal left to have today. It is going to be a lamb steak with a potato, potentially a little bit of veg, maybe some broccoli, but I can't really be asked to have any more broccoli today. I'm a bit fed up with broccoli at the moment. And I'm also going to have an egg and a little bit of butter, and I'm obviously going to use like 1 cow spray to cook with and everything like that. So I'm ending today on around about 2,500 calories and 190-ish grams of protein. I think it's actually 186 grams of protein. And the reason why I over on calories a little bit is just because I hadn't pre-planned my day. When you're tracking, you should always try and be like proactive and making sure that you're making an active effort to be thinking ahead. So normally like at the start of the day or by like lunchtime, I would have tracked all of my food for the day to make sure that it's within my calories and also hitting my protein as well. However, today I didn't, and I was just a little bit sort of like, right, what can I have that will roughly fit in it? This did. So I could also potentially not have the egg, but I want to have a little bit more fat, and I also want to have a little bit more protein as well than I would have if I didn't have it. The one thing that I wanted to touch upon before ending the video is something that I didn't touch upon earlier, and it's simply that because I have now been dieting for sort of 7 weeks, or this is the start of the 7th week, and I've now lost 5 kilos. It all contributes to sort of food focus just increasing quite significantly. And that is when it's useful to start having sort of like purposeful refeeds, purposeful sort of like free meals and stuff like I had on Saturday, because I could have that. It gives me like a little bit of like a mental reset. I don't feel like I need it anymore. And it really helps to set me up for the rest of the week. So using things like this, like as I say, free meals, non-tracked meals, and it is just that one meal that you have, is really, really useful for just like your overall adherence. But anyway, that is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, as always. If you want to follow me on Instagram, if you don't already, do so by the top link in the description. It was weird that this is like my last Monday as a self-employed person for however long it's going to be until I am fully self-employed again. As I say, I'll update you with that in like a future video, so subscribe so that you can see that update. If you've got any questions or anything like that, leave them in the comments as always, and thank you for watching, and adios and hasta luego.